Hi, and welcome along to another episode of the Red Zone podcast with me, Fletch. This is going to be only a mini Red Zone podcast today because there's not a hell of a lot to talk about. The international break has been and gone, and thank God it has, because again, it's been nothing but another uninspiring break and something to completely disrupt the new season. Thank God that is over, but we have got a bit to talk about. Liverpool players during that. We've also got the preview of the Liverpool versus Tottenham game. There's a few things to talk about there. I'm going to do my team selection as well and prediction. And also there's been a rumour regarding a player Liverpool have been speculated to be interested in, so I'm going to address that. So first things first, international break is over. It is finally over. It seems to have been going on for 2 years rather than 2 weeks. Good and bad in the sense of Liverpool. I'd say that the good news is that, Salah and Firmino, for one, they both got on the score sheet during the international break, playing for Brazil and Egypt, which is good. I'm sure a few others as well got on the score sheet. I didn't really know about them. To be honest, I've kind of been in autopilot over the international break. I've only been scanning over a few things here and there. I haven't been as fully invested in the international break as probably what I should be, or probably what UEFA want us to be. But that's pretty much all I've gathered from that point in particular. I know Fabinho did play at right back during the Brazil game. Apparently had a really good game too. Won a penalty, played pretty well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing if he's going to be breaking into the at least getting on the bench. Particularly at Spurs this weekend, but I'll get onto that in the near future in this podcast as well. So I'm happy for him in that respect that he got some minutes over the international break. And on the talking of Fabinho and Brazil, him, Firmino, and Alisson allegedly didn't play a single minute in their second game of the international break, which occurred Wednesday. Over this time over in England, it occurred at Wednesday morning, the early hours of Wednesday morning. So with them not playing, it means that they got a little bit of extra rest, and hopefully they can get back for the Tottenham game, which I'm probably sure they probably are right now by the time this goes out. And fingers crossed that they are going to be fit and sharp for the game. The Tottenham side of things, for the game on Saturday, let's start with that. International break bit been gone. Nothing really much to talk about because the real Premier League is back, guys. It's back. It's resuming. Okay, it's only for a few weeks, and then we've got another international break, but we've got a lot of football to play between then and now. And for Liverpool especially, we've got a lot of football and a lot of tough games, and it starts on Saturday. Lunchtime kickoff, the 12:30 game on a Saturday. Liverpool versus Tottenham. Always a great game this. There's always plenty of goals, plenty of controversy. And from a neutral point of view, it's always a great game. And if you're a fan of either one, it can be good or bad, depending. We obviously know what happened last time these two met. Mohamed Salah scored 2 great goals. Wanyama scored an absolute belter. And then obviously the whole controversy surrounding 2 penalty decisions, one that Harry Kane missed and one that Harry Kane converted to get Spurs a point in that last game. I'm not saying they're controversial for bias reasons. I'm saying they're controversial because they were very controversial. Those are the kind of ones that are either given or not. Depends what kind of referee you've got. And from the conversation that the referee had on that day, he wasn't even sure himself, but somehow came to the conclusion of giving Spurs a penalty. But, you know, that's all in the past now. This is here, this is now. Liverpool versus Tottenham, 12:30 on Saturday. And already, Spurs have been dealt a bit of a double blow. Hugo Lloris is still out injured, and Dele Alli, who was also injured on international duty, is also out kind of feel for Spurs with the Ali thing because it happened on international duty. Liverpool have been dealt serious problems in the past with international duty. I only have to look at Adam Lallana last season. That's where his injury problems started, and they continued, and it was a complete injury hit campaign for him. And Sturridge as well a few seasons ago, that's where his injury problems all seem to start from. So I do feel sorry in that respect, and it's not necessarily a given for Liverpool, of course, because Ali goes out, but Son Heung-min returns. He's obviously been away with South Korea in the Asian Games, Asian Gold Cup, whatever they call it. I can't remember what they call it, but it's something to do with that. He's obviously been away with South Korea. He's been playing for the right to, or not really right, but he's been playing for a way of getting out of doing military service in a couple of years' time, which obviously, if you've been following it, South Korea did go on to win the entire tournament and have, therefore, the entire team has been, well, Son in particular, has been granted the freedom of not having to do military service when their time is called. So Son returns. He's obviously going to be buzzing from that. We've got to look out for him. I think because he's not English, he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. I do like Son for Tottenham. I think he's really, really good. He works hard. Very good player. I do like him a lot. And I just think because Kane and Ali are obviously England's golden boys, they get more of the spotlight and recognition. But for me, Son is the unsung hero. I do like him a hell of a lot. And but I will also say that because now he's not going to be doing military service in a couple of years' time, it does sort of open the door a little bit to a possible move away from Tottenham, simply for the reason that now that he doesn't have to do it in a couple of years' time, there's no gamble on him having to do well in an international tournament for South Korea to get him out of that. So I can see a lot more interest being sparked up in Son over the next few years. And if Spurs don't win anything, like I say, he could be one of the names out the door, along with a few other names, if Spurs have this great team but don't win anything with it. There's a lot of off-field talk as well on Harry Kane. Not transfer talk, but the whole kind of him burning out for England kind of thing. Gary Neville said earlier this week that he thought Kane deserves a mental break. Craig Bellamy, former Liverpool Man City player, along with many other great teams, he came out and disagreed and said that it should have been Pochettino who gave him a break. It's a debatable. I said in a video I've done on my other on my channel today, actually, as in Thursday, that for me, if Kane is as good as he says he is, he shouldn't have a fear of burning out, so to speak. I didn't remember ever seeing the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, or Luis Suarez ever take time out for mental purposes. For injuries and off-the-field incidents that are personal to them, sure. That's the only time I ever saw them took a little bit of a rest or a break from playing the game. But if Kane is as good as he says he is, or everyone thinks he is, he should have no problem in continuing great form. Yeah, have the odd game where he's not playing very well, but Kane hasn't been playing very well for England. I didn't think he had a good World Cup. He got 6 goals in the World Cup. He finished top goal scorer, but when you consider the opposition that he got his goals from, and half of them were penalties anyway, to me, he didn't have that good of a World Cup to say that he came out with it with an accolade under his belt and something else to add to his Wikipedia page. But yeah, so Kane has been talked about a lot this week since the Switzerland game. As I say, that's my opinion on it. I mean, yeah, I do agree that sometimes they should have breaks and stuff, but it's picking and choosing the right time to have your break. And maybe the Switzerland game would have been a good time for him to have a break. There was nothing on the line there, but like Gareth Southgate said, he would have probably gone out and had a bit of a run and training anyway. So there was really little point or little difference in him playing half an hour to him going on and going back to Tottenham to train for the next game, which is only a few days away. So, if Tottenham really felt like he deserved a break, send him on a break for the first few games of the season. Like, he doesn't really do much in August anyway. Like, he actually did score in August this season, but he doesn't really do much in August anyway, so why not just send him out? Send him out on holiday. They brought him back earlier, I heard, or earlier than was expected, a few weeks. So, it's not really Southgate's fault. I don't think it's really him. If he needed a break, he should have said. It's a bit. This is a layered sort of argument that has many pros and cons to it, and many back and forth. So we'll just leave it at that. But the chances are he'll probably score on a Saturday. Because let's face it, it's Harry Kane. He'll probably get like a very fortunate penalty or something. A little bit of bitterness coming out there. I just realised. Not really. Like I say, I hope Liverpool will keep a clean sheet, and I pray that we will. Confident we'll win, but I'll get to that in more the prediction stage. Team selection then for Liverpool, we got no real injury problems. Like I said, Salah and Firmino got on the score sheet, so fingers crossed that they can start rediscovering their form. Obviously, Mane's looking for his 5th goal in 5 games, so fingers crossed he gets that. My team selection would be Alisson in goal, of course, Trent on the right back. Van Dijk and Gomez continuing their strong partnership at centre-back. Really looking forward to how they play. I thought Gomez and Trent in particular on international duty played very well. I saw the France versus Netherlands game as well. I thought Van Dijk did pretty well in that. There was a moment where he was in a one-on-one situation with Mbappe and Van Dijk came out on top, and I was like, cool, that's really foreshadowing the game on Tuesday against PSG. Is it Tuesday or was it Wednesday? I think the game against PSG, Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember now off the top of my head. Robertson, of course, at left back. He had a mixed international break, his first international break since being made Scottish captain. Lost to Belgium last Friday and won against, I don't remember who it was now. I want to say Israel, but I don't think it was Israel. Was it Israel? I don't remember. All I know is that they won. I can't remember who Scotland played, but very well done to him. In the midfield, I'm expecting Wijnaldum to play. I don't think Fabinho will be starting yet. I do expect Fabinho, though, to be on the bench, and here's why. In the past against Tottenham, we've had moments in the game, particularly second half, where our midfield becomes a little bit non-existent. There are times in the game where the midfield drops too deep. They're acting as like even more defenders than they are going forward. And I think if Tottenham start to get a hold of the game, let's say we're winning in the game and it comes to like the hour mark in the second half and Tottenham are really starting to get a foothold in the game, that's when we throw on Fabinho, and that's when we start to get a foothold back, because he'll be the guy. He's experienced enough that he knows how to play the game. He's experienced enough to know his role. He'll just sit there, he'll break up play, he'll get a foothold back on the ball, and we'll start taking back control. That's how I expect the game to be played if that scenario plays out. So I'm expecting Wijnaldum to start, Fabinho definitely to be on the bench. I'll be very surprised if Fabinho isn't on the bench on Saturday. I'd be very, very surprised. I'm expecting Keita to return to the squad from his being benched at Leicester, so I'm expecting him to start, and then it's a question of Milner or Henderson. Now, this one could go either way. I think for the Tottenham game, I think he'll go with Milner. I'm expecting him to go with Milner. Wouldn't be surprised or disappointed to see Henderson. Of course, there's the whole anti-Henderson agenda that fans have for some reason. Like I said in the last podcast, I didn't really understand why, and yeah, I didn't really understand why, but it happens. But yeah, like I say, Milner or Henderson will start in the midfield alongside the other two. And then, of course, up front you have Salah, Firmino, and Mane. Mane, like I say, looking for his 5th goal in 5 games. Salah looking to continue his goal-scoring run. And Firmino... Why do I keep calling him Firmino? And Firmino will obviously be looking to... expand on his goal scoring record like that he opened against Leicester. So that's my predicted team. Like I say, I really hope Fabinho will be on the bench. I expect him to be on the bench. I'll be very, very surprised if he isn't. And I think the overall plan for Liverpool will be go out, press on their throats and don't stop until you score 3 or 4 goals. Because once we score 3 or 4 goals, then Klopp can look to make a few changes. Because I reckon he'll probably have one eye on the PSG game. And the good thing about having a little bit more depth this year is that we can start moving players around. So key players obviously will be the front 3. But Firmino can play the entire game. Of course, you've got Sturridge back, so he can probably fill in for 30 minutes if he needs to take one of the front 3 off. Shaqiri, he looked good on international duty too. He was the star of the show for Switzerland in their first international game. Not so much against England. He had a bit of a poor showing, but he still looked good in places. So with a little bit of depth, of course, and I'm expecting Henderson and Milner to swap out, or maybe even for Keita as well, or like I say, Wijnaldum to come off of Fabinho. So a little bit more depth in there. It's going to be interesting, and like I say, I think Klopp may have one eye on the PSG game midweek. It's a big game at Anfield. I'm really looking forward to it. Trent, Van Dijk, Gomez and Robertson against the likes of Mbappe, Cavani and Neymar. That should be really, really interesting to see. And of course, at the other end of the field, our front 3 against the PSG defence. It should be a really, really, really interesting game. And one I'm really looking forward to, even more than the Tottenham game. And as we all know, the Tottenham game normally throws up a very good game indeed. Liverpool go into the game 4 wins out of 4, only conceded 1 goal, scored 8, 9, 8. I'm just trying to work it out now. 8, 9 goals. I don't remember. Tottenham, on the other hand, 3 wins, 1 loss. The loss obviously coming at Watford in their last game, in which they were 1-0 up, which is very surprising actually, because you don't normally... It's very rare Tottenham go ahead in a game and end up losing. Sometimes they may draw, but it's very rare that Tottenham go ahead and lose a game. Like I said, they were without Lloris in that last game as well. That might have helped. It was a bit fortunate on Watford's part, let's be honest, but at the end of the day, Watford probably were the better team on that day and probably deserved the win. But yeah, it's going to be a very tough game. It's going to be the toughest game that we've had this season. Leicester gave us a tough game last game out. The games have just got tougher each week. But we haven't had to really come out of second year. That's what I'm saying. We haven't second or third year. The first game against West Ham, we completely blew them away. It was a mixture of us blowing them away and them not being great, to mark a better word. So that's all what happened. And obviously, as we went on, the Brighton game was the Crystal Palace game was tough. Managed to get the victory. Very slightly fortunate, but we deserved it in the end. The Brighton game was good. Could have been better, but again, it's like we got the result professionally done. That's all that matters in the early stage of the season, just getting the 3 points. And then the Leicester game last week, or before the international break, the Leicester game, good result. Slightly annoyed we didn't get the clean sheet, but mistakes happen. And tough place to go, Leicester. So very good result in the end. But yeah, as I say, 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. Not at Tottenham's new stadium. This was meant to be the game that Tottenham were opening their stadium, but obviously that hasn't happened. We're playing at Wembley. Tottenham's new stadium will probably be open in about a few years' time, maybe, it seems. I don't know what the hell's going on down there. It's like a flipping circus. It's just, oh, it'll be open at this time. No, it won't. It'll be open this time. No, it won't. It'll be open this time. No, it won't. It's just... I think we'll be looking to play at Tottenham's new stadium either next season or not this Christmas, but next Christmas. That'll be the opening present. Like I say, it just sounds like a bit of a circus down there. The stuff that's coming out about it every week. And to finally round off this podcast, one major rumor that's been circulating, particularly today, is Paulo Dybala. He is allegedly going to be leaving Juventus, and many people are speculating that it won't happen next summer, but in fact it will happen this January when the transfer window reopens. Now, Liverpool have been rumoured to be interested in him, but apparently he's got a lot of interest from Spain and England, and it's not just Liverpool. So I thought I might as well just talk about this just in case Liverpool are serious. There was obviously the rumour earlier this week that Liverpool were after Adrien Rabiot. There was conflicting reports on that one. They basically were saying that Liverpool have been in talks with him because he's out of contract next summer, and there were reports that said there's absolutely no interest from Liverpool on him, and the rumours were just completely crap rumours. I don't know about the Dybala one. The Dybala one seems like a player that Klopp would like, and he does have the potential to be world class. I find him a bit overrated right now, but I do think there's some potential in there, and he's definitely there's a quality player within him. Will we go for him in January? I don't think so. I would like to. I think this would show real intent, and I do think this would be the type of player that, people have been saying that Keita may replace Coutinho, but we still haven't properly replaced Coutinho yet. And Dybala could be that guy. Dybala definitely could be that guy to replace Coutinho. Of course, he can play. He's a bit like Shaqiri in the sense that he can play anywhere along the forward three. He could play in that number 10 role, which is probably where he prefers to play. But yeah, the whole Rabiot thing, I'm not sure on. The whole Dybala thing, I'm not sure on either. I just thought it'd be interesting to throw it out there and see what you guys think. I'm expecting Dybala to go to Spain, to be honest. I'm expecting him to probably take up the Real Madrid or Barcelona shirt, if I'm completely honest. I would love to see him over in England, but I doubt he would. Unless City are looking for a replacement for David Silva because he's not getting any younger, maybe. But we'll have to see how this one goes. This has only just come out pretty much in the past 48 hours, so very interesting to know what's going to happen here. But the main point of this podcast has been Tottenham versus Liverpool, 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. Not at Tottenham's new stadium, but at Wembley. It should be a cracking game. Guys, if you want to leave your comments down below on the points I've talked about, the Liverpool-Tottenham game mainly, how you think it will go prediction-wise. Oh, I haven't done my prediction. Prediction, I think it will be 3-1 to Liverpool. I'm expecting Mane to get his goal. I'm expecting Firmino to get a goal. And I'm expecting Salah to get his goal, which he normally does. But our front three to get 1 goal each. I think Kane will score for them, unfortunately. But that's what I'm hoping for and what I'm expecting from Liverpool. So, yes, as I was saying, leave your comments in the comment section below on anything to do with Liverpool versus Tottenham, whether it's prediction, team news, anything you like. Talk about the international break if you want. Talk about the Paulo Dybala rumour. Talk about the Adrien Rabiot rumour. Love to hear what your thoughts on that. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching or listening. Hit that like button on the way out if you like the podcast. Subscribe if you're new or want to hear what I've been talking about for the past few weeks on this podcast or any of the other content on my channel. I'm trying to do like a daily sort of roundup of news right now. See how far that goes before I either A, forget, B, run out of time in life, or C, whatever. I don't know. Thanks for listening. Like I say, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. And I will see you all in the next podcast.